Good afternoon, and welcome to Spirit Speaks on the World Today. I'm Reverend Jim Webb, and I channel a group of beings, the masters of planetary healing and transformation. These energetic beings are focused on our growth, our development, and our healing so that we can facilitate the healing and transformation of the earth. They tend to gravitate around light bearers such as you, and they give us guidance from a spiritual perspective. So recently, as we watched the political landscape change rapidly, and as we saw the political turmoil in the world, as well as wars in other areas of the world, I asked Spirit for their perspective on everything that was happening in the midst of what seemed like chaos. And they since have been offering a wide range of perspectives that ultimately give us hope and can instill within us peace. So, channeling is no big mystery. I have been doing spiritual work for decades now and studying spirituality and living spirituality for decades. And during the course of that time, I have gone deeper and deeper into meditation and connected with spirit in the form of doing readings, counseling, and coaching for such a long time that it was simply a natural progression to just surrender my consciousness and allow spirit to come through without distortion. So that's what I do. And the only thing for you to be aware of is be aware of your energy and sense any changes in your energy. Also, understand that what I am channeling is essentially energy, even though the energy may take words or gestures, or the energy may access aspects of my consciousness. It is energy. And when higher vibration energy moves through a seemingly solid conduit, friction occurs, which is why when electromagnetic energy moves through a copper wire, you have to ground the copper wire by surrounding it in rubber so that the friction doesn't catch fire. Well, what you'll find is when energy comes through me, there may be times you find me rocking, or you might find my third eye winking. That's just resistance to the energy that is coming through. So let us know you're here. Give comments, share, and like it, depending on what platform you're watching us on. And I'm going to introduce my producer, Michael Mangus, who will be handling any questions you have. So, Michael, let them know how to submit their questions.
Oh, absolutely. So just submit them into the comments, whether on Facebook or on YouTube. And then as time permits, then we will go ahead and we will give them to the masters to answer. So, and again, we ask that you keep them to the point, no political commentary, please. And again, we ask for questions. So, so thank you. And I'll be back here in a few minutes.
Thank you, Michael. I love what Michael said. We're here to enlighten and not to fight. So, with that, I'm going to go under and we'll see what Spirit has to say. Greetings. It is our honor and pleasure to work with you in this way at this time. We would suggest, first of all, that you take a moment to breathe and receive the light we would offer to you now. And we would say to you that the light has come and brought healing to your earth. The light has come and lodged itself into the hearts of humans who have been open to bear light on the planet at this time. For there are many human souls, yourselves included, who made the decision to incarnate on the earth plane at this time in order to bear light, in order to bear witness to the presence of God while in body, while on earth, in order to open the earth to the light of healing and transformation, causing it and allowing it to be a bastion of healing moving forward versus a bastion of chaos and confusion. So the energy for this has already been instilled on the earth, which is what we say when what we intend to convey when we say the light has come. Now, as you know, this light brings up anything unlike it in the form of darkness. And you have seen and you are seeing plenty of this. But when the light comes and dislodges darkness in order that you might see it, that is the ending of the healing process and not the beginning. For you, it seems to be the beginning of the healing process, for the darkness that you see around you seems so much bigger than you and seems so new and so devastating and looms so large. But once the light has unearthed and exposed this energy, as the channel is fond of saying, 80% of the healing and transformation is complete. You add the rest through your prayers and through releasing any remaining will that darkness beheld on the earth. So, as you look at your country right now, you see that the appetite for darkness is diminishing and the celebration of light has expanded rapidly, for it has lain latent in the hearts of humans, waiting to for enough light on the earth to sustain its expression in an upward spiral. So the light has come, it has actually outweighed the darkness and can be expressed and will be expressed. And nowhere is this more expressed than in your political process right now. What you have seen recently is the emergence of this light in a new and different and somewhat unexpected form. And what you have seen is how humans have flocked to this light and how humans will continue to flock to this light. And this light shall prevail. Now, we do not give specific political projections, for so much is up to goodwill, and no matter what happens, it is for the greatest good of all. However, we would say that at this time we see such a preponderance of light and such a diminishment of darkness that at this time it seems quite likely that the light in the form of candidates who embody joy and light and reconciliation and healing and generosity and mercy and embrace, these candidates will do much better than candidates whose key objective is to trigger fears in order to garner votes. That, in human terms, that train has left the station. That energy and the time for its popularity has passed because humans in your voting population have become aware of some of these tactics and will not fall for them again. And so we would say again here that the light has come. Now, when the light comes in this way, it is very understandable for many humans to be in disbelief. For all many humans have known, many humans have only known the darkness and the effects of darkness. So seeing the world in light is a great challenge. And we would now offer you healing to heal the places within you that have previously held trauma, that these places within you might be healed, that you might hold more light. So take a moment to receive this blessing. And as you choose, you may work with this thought form. I open to receive the light of healing. I open to receive the light of grace. I open to receive the light of healing. I open to receive the light of grace. I open to receive the light of healing. I open to see and feel and experience and be the light of grace. And breathe this in. Just breathe it in. And with this, even though you may not see evidence of it in this moment, know that the light has already come. And although there is a time lag between the emergence of light and its physical manifestation in forms that bring you peace and comfort, note that it is inevitable that as you feel this light, you draw to you circumstances that reflect this light. So breathe that in, and we would open to any questions you might have at this time.
Thank you, Masters. We have a question from Reverend Jane Bad. And she is asking, why is accountability still blocked for one of the candidates?
We would work with this. Take a moment to breathe. Just breathe. And we would offer you a differing perspective to this question. From your perspective, legal accountability seems to elude this being due to multiple appeals and certain cases being stalled and other cases being temporarily dismissed. So, from that perspective, you perceive that this being is not being held accountable for certain actions. But there are many layers and levels of accountability here. And so, from our perspective, this accountability is inevitable, regardless of what external form it takes, for this accountability has already occurred. And we will explain. This accountability has already occurred to the degree that whether or not the being stands trial and is found guilty, the charges that have been made and quite a few allegations and corroborating witnesses and patterns of behavior have become so etched into the human mindset on the earth that this being has already been convicted in many minds, and this being has already been held accountable for many. For we are seeing a phenomena unfold that certain people who may have seemed to be certain to vote for this being behind closed curtains shall not. There are many beings, as we see, in many key areas of your country who cannot, will not bring themselves to vote for this candidate when the curtain is drawn. And this is a function of the new light on the earth that you might describe as a joyous celebration of the diverse aspects of life and a return to fairness and equity in your economic systems, etc., etc. This energy and these concepts and revisiting the essential concept of your country as a place of freedom, this has gone a long way into mitigating any effects of delaying trials indefinitely. Because this energy is an energy that many humans in your country will find attractive, and this will gather so many votes as we see it. And although we will not predict the outcome of this election, for it is, of course, up to millions of individuals and their free will, we would say that there are many who, behind closed curtains, shall not vote the way they may have traditionally voted. And so the inevitable accountability of this being will not be interrupted as we see it right now by being elected president. This is as we see it in this moment. These likelihoods fluctuate, but that is what we see. So there is physical, earth-bound accountability that still is likely to be, even though this being has been held accountable in the public eye, and certain vote tallies will reflect this. So it is important to to examine an energy that is in the universe right now especially in your country, energy of a great shift politically that causes it to be unlikely, very unlikely, that this being would be reelected. And this is what we would say to you to help you to understand that there is accountability occurring, even though it is not in the form that you think accountability takes. Is there perhaps another question?
Yes, Masters. Another question from Reverend Jane Batch. She's asking, how can a corrupt Supreme Court be healed? And how can I feel peace about it now?
We would work with this. We would work with this. You see some of this occurring already. And what is occurring that you have seen thus far is one of the justices has been much more willing than expected to vote with the minority, and the leader of this body has also at times voted with the minority. This balance will shift into a more permanent arrangement or alliance very soon. What will support the a return to certain objective truth by this court is as follows. There is a movement afoot for other branches of the government to monitor this branch of government more closely and, in your own words, hold them accountable for their decisions, shining the light upon their decisions when their decisions contradict their prior decisions for no apparent reason except for political loyalties, etc. So, the same accountability that you asked about in your prior question, this energy is infused in your Supreme Court as well, in that certain scrutiny has caused their integrity to be compromised and caused certain other branches of your government to look more closely at this body. And if this scrutiny does not yield a return to what some would call common sense, pragmatic, and obviously unbiased rulings, then there are fingers waiting to push levers of power to make changes to this body. And these initiatives that are, in human terms, waiting in the wings, these initiatives will gather a great deal of support from your representatives and senators. And certain executive orders are at the ready. We would offer you the image of an inside jacket pocket with papers in it, legal papers in it, waiting to be served. So there are provisions in the works to support this organization in mitigating the erosion of support that it is currently experiencing and come back to a place of objectivity where we would not say that objectivity is in question. We would not even say that that objectivity is in doubt from a certain obvious lack of objectivity. There will be changes that will bring this body back from a certain lack of objectivity. And this is what we would say.
Thank you, Masters. We have a question from Deborah Thomas. She's asking, the divine feminine energy seems to be influencing our better angels. There was a profound emphasis on mothers. Can you expound on this?
Yes, an aspect of your planet's healing is the balancing of the masculine and the feminine. And these energies are coming more into balance now. For a very long, what you call time, the earth has vibrated in a way that gave rise to an oversaturation of male energy and overemphasis on male energy and an overabundance of male energy. And this has had negative effects, as anything out of balance will eventually have negative effects. So, your country, as part of its collective journey of enlightenment, is now more than ready, as you see, to absorb and expound upon and experience, use, and respect the divine feminine energy. And as humans open to this, they do not limit their ability to make manifest with male energy of doing, but they recognize and realize the importance of balancing that in balance with the female energy of listening, intuiting, waiting, feeling, and being as a part of the creative process. So there, the divine feminine energy may seem quite prevalent because it is, and it is prevalent due to some degree to the diminishment of the male energy, that these energies might be brought into balance. And that is what we would say about this.
Thank you again, Masters. We have another question from Jane Batt. She says, a recent political event felt deeply healing to me and brought up core pain about hope and faith. How can I integrate the healing energy most effectively?
Good. We would work with this. Just breathe. We have offered you before an idea, a mantra that can be helpful to you. That mantra, that idea, that declaration, I am safe in the world I create with God. I am safe in the world I create with God. I am safe in the world I create with God. As you go within and as you feel within you a core of light, love, and safety and peace that has been there all along, and as you focus on this energy, you expand this energy, and you begin to emit this energy, and others continue to respond to this energy. And this energetic flow leaves less room within you for light to be misused into darkness, for pleasure to be twisted into the potential for pain. And as you practice this more and more, you will feel the blessed assurance of God. And you will know that as you feel the blessed assurance of God, it works not only on you, but it works with your world as well. And you will feel God's grace in certain experiences that you have that may seem to be innocuous human ego body experiences with others, but are actually quite profound in their impact upon you. You may find yourself interacting with someone casually in their energy and your energy being in such vibrational constancy or union that you feel immediately uplifted, as do they. And this will happen more and more and become more of a norm for you as you cultivate the safety of the light of God within you. And this offers you the blessed assurance necessary to navigate through what is and will be concerning times, given certain potential fluctuations in poles, etc. So keep the faith that the light has already prevailed. Hold visions of how the light prevailing looks in terms of your U.S. domestic political situation, and know that you are and you have done wonderfully in ministering to the earth, bringing forth the healing energy necessary on the earth to ground energy, which then disallows extraordinary violence. Do you understand this?
Yes, thank you, Masters. We have another question from Jane Bat. She asked, the Prime Minister of India is trying to help Ukraine make peace. Do you feel that this can succeed?
We would work with this. We see that there is such a strong vested world interest in this piece that all are, in human terms, coming to the table and offering incentives for this. Incentives in the form of helping certain beings who have an interest in prolonging wars, having them find ways to elegantly exit while saving face and reducing the risk of their punishment and death in prison. So these provisions are being discussed, and as we see it, there is a quite a likelihood that certain agreements will be made and certain levels of peace for the short term will be achieved. Now, there is still a great deal of fluctuating energy outside of an initial 6 or 8 month window. There are many details there to be determined, much more healing to occur there. What you can do is touch the hearts of humans who are in negotiation. And as you touch the hearts of humans who are in negotiation, you ignite their hearts into the highest vision and purpose. And this can help you and help your country and your world.
Masters, we have another question from Jane Bat. Is the backdoor diplomacy in Gaza progressing?
Yes, yes. We find in the channel's consciousness the energy a of a phrase on the brink. Now, probabilities shift and fluctuate. This is, of course, a disclaimer. However, there seems to be a great deal of consensus and only a slight risk of things falling apart. And so there is a highly likely probability here that some agreement in the short term shall be reached. And we see a longer term morning after or day after solution to be much more elusive, but there is time for that during a certain cooling down period. And that is what we would say.
Thank you, Masters. That is all the questions that we have. Do you have anything else that you would like to say to us this evening?
Yes, you are the blessings of the world. The world, we find a phrase from A Course in Miracles here. The world bends to your will, as you are the holy beloved of God. Pray not for certain outcomes, pray that your will for peace be fulfilled. Pray that your will for good and balance and safety be fulfilled. Pray that your will for a just and loving earth to comfort you. Pray that this will be fulfilled. And the outcomes that most reflect this will are the outcomes that you give permission to manifest through these prayers. In other words, lift your eyes away from certain specific outcomes that tie God's hands in serving you, and lift your eyes to the more expansive expressions of the light you are and the light you receive. Focus on the energies of how it would feel to have the deep peace and deep freedom that your heart yearns to experience, even more than on a casual, fleeting basis. And as you tap into this energy, you anchor more of this energy onto the earth, facilitating a good, happy, and satisfactory outcome for you in as a result of certain events that at times concern you. And this is what we would say.
Thank you, Masters. We received one more question. Are you willing to entertain one more question for us?
Yes.
Okay. Godfrey wrote in this evening, I have a similar question. When is peace likely to come to the Sudan?
We would answer this in a broad way. There is a movement afoot to empower certain global organizations through certain channels such as the United Nations and through government entities that apply funding to support projects. Now, the reason that we take this question to this level is that this is a function of the light the earth is receiving and that the light that the earth shall receive. This light will take the form of stronger world groups that are sanctioned to handle certain challenges or imbalances upon the globe. Now, certain, for lack of a better term, emergency structures such as Red Cross operations have previously been deployed in response to large acute disasters. But there is a shift in consciousness coming that applies resources such as this to what humans might call slow rolling disasters. And so, as the Earth continues to evolve upward vibrationally in its oneness with light, there is more of an awareness of the unlimited power that humans have at their disposal to change their world. And humans become more empowered to do so. So, agencies such as the Red Cross, agencies such as governmentally funded agencies, agencies such as the United Nations become more empowered to address what might be considered trouble spots on the globe that have nothing to do with natural disasters, but have to do with slow rolling disasters. And the energy of oneness and communication and the energy of working together and the energies of compromise will help this. Now, this is a broad answer that gives you an indication of the future direction of your world in terms of its level of cooperation, coordination, companionship, kinship, and oneness. And this is certainly good news in the large, long term, and abstract. What it means in the short term is that conflicts such as this are being viewed by the world with a world more ready to act. So these conflicts that at times seem to have the promise of going on forever, the world is more empowered and likely to act in certain specific ways in certain trouble spots such as this. So this is on a shorter time frame than you would imagine, although the the issues here need time. This is on a shorter time frame than you imagine due to global involvement in this and other situations. So the short answer to your question is the conflicts such as this will be shortened significantly due to the more muscular stance taken by your country and your world to address trouble spots in other parts of the world. Now, this is not always and totally altruistic. This is also to stem the tide of migration to make it manageable. For the other aspect of this that we will discuss now is the aspect of what you might call weather related migration, where certain areas of the globe, your globe, become less habitable due to weather and climate shifts. So, certain structures are being put in place over the next several years to mitigate this as well. And these same sorts of involvements will will minimize the imbalance caused by weather related migration or climate related migration. But in the shorter term, they will address certain trouble spots in a more muscular world way to stem the tide of certain migrations, such as the migration of war refugees from certain countries in the southern hemisphere to certain countries in the northern hemisphere. And this is what we would say to you.
Thank you, Masters. We are out of Earth time. Is there any other words of impartation you would like to say to us tonight?
Create with God the world you choose to see. Know that you are a powerful creator with God of this world. You are not a powerless bystander, but you are a powerful channel of the light that will heal this world. Never underestimate this and be at peace that as you continue to focus this light, it can only take of the forms that would give you peace. And this is what we would say to you here. be blessed, and in God forever. Hey, Michael.
Hey, how are you?
Hey. I'm doing great. How are you?
Oh, good. Oh, hey, listen, we got some great news this week. I heard through the
Mhm.
grapevine
Yeah.
that someone has a brand new book that's coming out this weekend on someone's birthday.
Yes. The book is called Forgive Your Way to Prosperity, available on Amazon.com September 1st. I'm excited about this because it looks at forgiveness in a totally new way that allows us to use forgiveness to allow our prosperity instead of misusing forgiveness to amplify struggles and misery. So it's a wonderful book. It's actually, I'm going to give you all a hint. It's a slightly different format. That's a
Okay.
hint.
Okay. They
I'll give
can,
you another hint a little later in the week, but it's a slightly different format than prior books.
okay.
Yeah. You can
Oh,
ask one leading question.
one leading question.
Uh huh.
Um, will it be on sale on Kindle? You don't have to tell us the price, but you can just say, will it be on sale or not?
It will be on sale for 72 hours from the 1st through the 3rd at a low introductory price. And the reason for that is so that you can get it and review it. And the more people get it and the more people review it, the wider an audience it reaches. So you can help the world reach its enlightenment by reaching for yours by buying Forgive Your Way to Prosperity during the first 72 hours.
All right. And I heard someone has some classes coming up here.
Yes, Spirit wants to help us heal our soul's trauma. We came to the earth to heal this trauma, and we brought a whole lot of it in this life because this is the first lifetime in many lives where there has been enough energy to heal soul trauma. So, Spirit will tell you about past lives that have bled into this life and heal you in this life, heal those past life energies, and set it up so that you can create a wonderful current life and wonderful future lives. So, that's kind of cool. And that's on Monday starting September 9th. And I do two first, two classes for the price of one. And my second class is deepening your spiritual connection. All this channeling psychic stuff and intuitive stuff that I do, everybody can do it. So these 6 weeks will be a 6 week working practicum to give you opportunities to deepen your connection with spirit. Know when to discern spirit, know how to feel spirit and talk to spirit and hear from spirit all during the day, and learn how to feel that blessed assurance that comes when you know that spirit is there with you always, and you can always talk to spirit and spirit will always talk to you. So deepening your connection with spirit, a 6 week journey of spiritual growth, connection, and learning to be more intuitive and even to channel. So that's what we're doing. But these classes sell out, so register quickly before they do. And there's a bonus between now and September 2nd, a $75 discount for signing up between now and then.
What?
As long as the classes are available, because if they sell out,
If
discount or
they
no
sell,
discount, no matter
Jim,
what you pay, you can't get in when the class is sold out.
Jim's classes sell out very quickly. So if you even have a little inkling that you'd like to take the classes, please get in contact with him at Reverend Jim Webb at msn.com. You can also give him a phone call or a text at 202 253 6009. That's 202 253 6009. And if you'd like more information, again, go to his website, reverendjimwebb.com, reverendjimwebb.com. All right. We're done
Um,
for the night.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Michael, for your help, and thank you all the folks who are viewing this or shall view this. And keep those questions coming because we love Spirit's perspective. It gives us peace. Everyone have a wonderful evening.